Before we start, if you enjoy content that explains how everyday tools secretly shape your behavior, not just what you should do with them, subscribe to the channel. Now, let me ask you something simple. Have you ever swiped your card for something and only later thought, did I really need that? You didn't feel guilty while buying it. You didn't hesitate. You barely noticed the money leaving. But later, when the bill arrived, the feeling changed. Suddenly it hurt. That delay isn't an accident. It's psychology, and credit cards are designed to use it. There's something in our brain called the pain of paying. It's the small discomfort you feel when you give up money. When you pay in cash, you feel it immediately. You hand over something physical. You see it leave. Your brain registers loss. That tiny sting is what keeps spending in check. But when you use a credit card, that pain disappears. You tap. You smile. You walk away. No loss felt. No warning signal. Your brain thinks, nothing bad just happened. So it lets you spend more. Not because you're careless, but because your brain lost its natural brake. This is how credit cards hack your mind. They don't change prices. They change feelings. And feelings drive decisions. Here's something fascinating. People consistently spend more when they don't feel the payment. Studies show we buy more, choose more expensive options, and say yes more easily when the pain of paying is delayed. Not because we suddenly became rich, but because our brain thinks the cost is smaller when it can't feel it. That's why buying with cash feels heavier, and buying with a card feels lighter. Same money, different emotion. Now add one more layer. Credit cards separate buying from paying. You enjoy today. You feel the pain weeks later. Our brain loves that trade. It gets the pleasure now and pushes the discomfort into the future. Future you becomes responsible for present you. And future you always seems stronger than you really are. So you swipe again. Not because you plan to overspend, but because the system made it painless. This is why credit cards don't feel dangerous. They feel helpful, convenient, modern, smart, but underneath that convenience is a psychological trick. Remove the pain, increase the spending. So, how do people actually protect themselves? Not by cutting up their cards, not by avoiding modern life, but by bringing the pain back on purpose. Some people pause before paying. They look at the total slowly. They say the number in their head. Others move money immediately after spending, so the loss becomes visible again. Some use one simple rule. If it hurts to imagine paying cash, don't buy it on a card. Not because cards are evil, but because the brain needs friction. Friction creates awareness. Awareness creates control. And control is what turns money from stress into security. Here's the truth. Credit cards don't ruin finances. Invisible spending does. The moment you reconnect your brain to the feeling of paying, your habits quietly change. Not through force, not through guilt, but through understanding. If this made you see your spending differently, subscribe for more videos on the psychology behind money decisions. Because once you understand how your brain is being influenced, you stop being controlled by it